Guys, we're back again with the series America, Land of the Slaves. And our goal with this series is to simply show people that we have control, but we have lost it. We really haven't even lost it. We've technically given it away, and we continue to give it away through apathy, through just all kinds of different things. But I wanted to talk about, in this next section, I want to talk about fluoride. Now, this video is going to be a little bit longer than most of them, simply because fluoride is a serious and huge topic. It's going to take me a little bit to show you guys, so you can get a good idea within this little bitty clip. I really would just ask you, have you ever noticed that, like, no matter how much you brush your teeth with, like, regular toothpaste and regular sink water, your teeth don't really ever seem to get that white or that much more whiter? You ever notice that people that brush their teeth all the time still end up with cavities? You ever notice your skin feeling extra dry lately? Have you noticed that? How about this one? After you take showers, that is, the dry skin. How about this one? Have you ever noticed the weird taste of the faucet water? How it doesn't really taste that good, and you can't really drink a whole lot of it by itself? You ever notice the smell that comes from it? Have you ever noticed, how about this one? Maybe everybody's seen this one. You ever went walking and was paying attention to the sidewalks or the grass or dirt, mainly dirt, and you can see where the sprinklers had been on, there's like this white buildup, right? That's calcium fluoride and fluoride deposits. That is in our drinking water, and it's been in our drinking water for a long time. But I'm going to stop there and simply just ask you guys to keep an open mind. I'm going to show you some video clips, and you can come to your own conclusion. I really would like people to participate in this discussion and share this information with everyone that you can, because it is so important that you do so for our human civilization, for our human health, for our nation. So, here we go.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Sparn111970, and thank you as always for watching my video. Alright guys, this is something I want to get across to anybody who listens to this. Majority of people usually tend to get it, but I see this with a few examples which basically will tell what the average person on the street talks about and thinks about. The people who subscribe to my channel for the right reasons get these kind of things, so I really don't even have to explain it to them, because it's almost a no-brainer at this point. But I want to say to the average person out there, the people who are skeptics infinitely, it does you no good when you hear something that's out of the ordinary to automatically dismiss it using your normalcy bias. And I understand that it's really not everybody's fault to a certain extent, because we were taught in schools, because I am assuming the majority of you, including myself, went to public school. Now, public schools are not there to give you wisdom, to give you truth, or to enlighten you spiritually, mentally, and any other way. It's there to educate you.
And this is our only goal, is to enlighten everyone and gather people together.
Good little slave who doesn't need chains. And that's by telling you to face front, raise your hand when you're spoken to, be quiet, get in a line, when the bell rings, go to your class, come to school when we tell you to, leave school when we tell you to, respect authority, eat when we tell you to. Sound familiar? So it's all about teaching you to ultimately get a job, put your money in a savings account, or your currency. It's not money, but they'll tell you it's money because, these are professionals, the people with the suits and ties who have the Harvard educations and the college educations telling you these things. I've said this before and I'll say it again. For centuries, the masses on the planet believed strongly that the earth was flat, that the sun revolved around the earth, that the earth was the center of the universe. And if you were somebody who researched these things, like somebody like Galileo, you would discover that even though probably 99% of the world was basically believing that the earth was flat simply because they were told it, that if somebody like Galileo were to come around and say, no, that's not the case, I actually looked into it, researched it, the earth is round. The earth revolves around the sun. The sun is not part of the center of the galaxy. Well, guess what? He got imprisoned, and he died in prison for speaking the truth. Because back then it was easier. The average person couldn't read and write. There was no internet, there was no radio, there was no television. So it was a lot harder for information to get out, and it was a lot easier to silence people. Today, with the internet, with the ability to get information in an instant, for people to automatically dismiss stuff, there is no more excuses. And you're only hurting yourself. Because here's how I have changed my life. I went from believing anything I was told to checking into things now. Now, you can't always get full confirmation, but if you can say, if somebody comes up with some incredible claim, and you just accept it, well, that's a dangerous thing too. If you look it up and research it and try and get as much information as you can either confirm what they say is accurate, or you could find out that the person was inaccurate, lying, misinformed, or what have you.
Okay, you guys. So, the, what I said before was that fluoride is in our water. And I also asked you a couple questions about fluoride. Have you ever noticed? They're basically symptoms of fluoride. But what I really want to explain, the whole point of this is to show you that, yes, fluoride is in the water. We've been told that fluoride is in there for our teeth. And there's not very much evidence that shows that it does that. There's actually evidence against that. But I just want to share with you guys my research that I went into to see whether or not there is something going on here. So I would like to show you guys one of the videos that I thought was pretty accurate with the information that was portrayed in it, and was very detailed and pretty entertaining also. So check it out, you guys. The fluoride deception.
Fluoride. Dentists say that drinking it can protect your teeth against cavities. Cities and towns all across the world actually dump it into the water supply, hoping to indiscriminately medicate the population through their tap water faucets. The official story on fluoride sounds wonderful. Drink the stuff and you won't get cavities, we're told. It's a nice story. But there's another side to this story, a side you're never told. And it starts with the astonishing but verifiable fact that nearly all the fluoride dripped into municipal water supplies isn't naturally occurring fluoride at all. In fact, it's actually a combination of hexafluorosilicic acid and sodium silicofluoride. These two chemicals are considered highly toxic by the EPA. They're actually classified as hazardous waste, and when packaged for transportation, they must be labeled as poison and handled by workers wearing industrial safety gear. So, what are hexafluorosilicic acid and sodium silicofluoride, and where do they come from? That's the part of this story that you probably won't believe. That is, not until you check it out for yourself. Because the more you look into the mythology of fluoride, the more bizarre this story becomes. And this bizarre story begins at phosphate mining companies. Phosphate is an important mineral used in fertilizers. It's mined from natural rock deposits scattered across the world, and the phosphate rock is then refined to produce phosphoric acid. If that name sounds familiar, that's because it's one of the main ingredients in carbonated sodas, such as Coke, Pepsi. Phosphoric acid is often compared to battery acid. It's a highly acidic liquid that is believed to be the primary reason why drinking sodas can result in kidney stones and a loss of bone mineral density. Phosphate rock is also used to create fertilizers. The problem is phosphate is often contaminated with high levels of fluoride, as much as 40,000 parts per million, or up to 4% of the raw ore. To remove the fluoride, sulfuric acid is added to a wet slurry of phosphate and water. This causes the fluoride to vaporize, creating highly toxic gaseous compounds such as hydrogen fluoride and silicon tetrafluoride. These toxic fluoride chemicals used to be released directly from the smokestacks of phosphate mining operations, but the nearby farms suffered devastating losses of cattle and food crops, which withered away and died.
Like, wow.
Guess what? Fluoride poisoning. In order to stop this environmental destruction, the phosphate mining industry put in place a way to capture toxic fluoride chemicals.
I know this sounds crazy, guys, and I know you might not want to believe it because it's too real to, deal with, but this is real.
This was accomplished by installing wet scrubbers that captured the toxic fluoride chemicals, preventing them from being released into the environment and killing the plant and animal life living nearby. It is from these wet scrubbers that toxic fluoride chemicals are now harvested. They're collected
And put in our
packaged,
water.
shipped to your local city, and then dumped into the municipal water supply. So instead of these toxic fluoride chemicals being released by the phosphate mining smokestacks, they are instead captured and then released into the water supply of large cities, where the chemicals then contaminate the water of millions of people at a time. This is called water fluoridation. When dentists, doctors say they support fluoride in the water supply, what they're really saying is that they support the mass poisoning of the population with a highly toxic hazardous waste product that, if it weren't dripped into the water supply, it would have to be disposed of as a highly toxic hazardous waste under strict EPA regulations. Curiously, it is a violation of federal law to dump hexafluorosilicic acid or sodium silicofluoride into the water. Such an act, in fact, is considered an act of terrorism. Yet it is mysteriously allowed today, as long as it is accompanied by a loosely justified claim that we're doing this to stop cavities. But setting aside for the moment the inconvenient truth that water fluoridation involves the illegal act of dumping hazardous waste into the water supply, there's another important question in all this. Do these toxic fluoride chemicals actually prevent cavities?
No. I'm pretty sure by now you can probably figure out the answer to that one. But I will show you another video that actually gives a little bit more detail too about this fluoride thing. This is crazy. And not only are we putting it in our mouths, we're taking showers with it, baths with it. Our babies are being washed in it. Like, really, man, this is crazy. You go to the fast food restaurants, and the food is being cooked in it, and the sodas have it in it. I mean, it's everywhere, and the implications of this is insane. You understand why I'm making an issue about this, and why I'm pissed that this is even allowed to be in our water, and not many people are standing up about this enough to get this stopped. So, just take a look at this next video.
In Australia, we are lucky enough to be able to drink water straight from our taps, and the fluoride in this water has been contributing to the decline in tooth decay for over 61 years. However, scientists and health professionals are now saying that this fluoride may actually be causing more harm than good.
The poison is fluoride. It's there because government health bureaucrats and dentists tell us it's for our common good, for reducing tooth decay, and at levels which won't harm you.
What is fluoride and where does it come from?
Fluoride is a compound containing the element fluorine combined with something else. So we put fluoride into the drinking water, ostensibly to reduce tooth decay. But it's a very unusual practice to use the public water supply to deliver medical treatment, human treatment. Because once you put it in the water supply, you can't control the dose. You can't control who gets it. It violates the individual's right to informed consent to medicine. And this is medicine that you're going to get for the rest of your life if they get their wishes. So it's a lousy practice.
As a result of fluoridation, our children will be healthier and happier.
There is no health hazard that justifies postponing water fluoridation.
We don't use the pharmaceutical grade fluoride that we put into toothpaste and other dental products. Incredibly, the chemicals that we use are from the scrubbing systems of the phosphate fertilizer industry. I know people find that hard to believe, that this is actually a hazardous waste. It contains all kinds of other substances, including arsenic, which is a known human carcinogen. So whatever else fluoride might do, by using these contaminated hazardous waste products, we are increasing the risk of cancer to every individual in our society. My major concern is the impact on the brain. Now, to put this into context, the level of fluoride in mother's breast milk is incredibly low, 0.004 parts per million, and we fluoridate at about 1 part per million. So the bottle-fed baby is getting about 200 times more fluoride than nature intended. The concerns are, number one, the one they can't deny, is dental fluorosis.
Well, this would be considered a condition. The first picture was mild fluorosis. This is more severe fluorosis. And so you could see that the edges, the incisal edges of the teeth are decaying and defective. And it really is a condition which causes not just a cosmetic defect, but a defect to the hardness of the teeth and the health of the teeth.
We now have 37 IQ studies done in China, mainly in China, but also in Iran, Mexico, and India, which shows an association, fairly modest exposure to fluoride and lowered IQ. Because if you're going to do something as silly as exposing the whole population to a known toxic substance, you've got to be able to protect everyone. You've got to confidently. And right now, you would be expecting Western Australian authorities who continue to support this practice to be able to tell you that there is this body of evidence of studies on the brain which negate all the studies that have found harm. And it isn't just IQ. Over 40 animal studies which shows that fluoride damages the brain, 19 studies which shows that it interferes with the memory and learning ability of mice and rats, 3 fetal brain studies which finds that fluoride damages the fetal brain, then these IQ studies. They have no body of evidence to nullify this.
Harvard researchers have found children who live in high fluoride areas have significantly lower IQs.
So I think you guys are starting to get the picture of what I'm talking about with the fluoride issue. And the only reason why this keeps happening is, once again, because of apathy. Not enough people are standing up against this. There are people who are standing up, and there are people who have taken this to court. But it's sad because the courts, guess what? They vote these people down. Why again is that happening, Mr. Obama? You know? You guys, I mean, it's absolutely, it's getting crazy, you know? I don't know what else to say. I mean, you can only deal with so much until it just becomes overwhelmingly obvious that we are not free here right now because we keep giving up our freaking power. I'm tired of it, man. We need to stand up, you guys. You need to share this stuff. We need to talk about these things. It starts off with your circle first. How are you ever supposed to get anything to change if people can't even share this information? You know, it's just sad. I wish we could do more. I'm gonna leave you guys with the end of this video, and you can sit on this fluoride issue.
Good people tend to be accidentally killed. You ever notice they try and suppress truthful information until they can't suppress it anymore, but they like to talk about things that are really bad for you? You ever notice that? You ever notice, like, in the 40s and 50s and 60s where they had commercials and advertisements all over the place for smoking? Now they don't, because they can only suppress the truth for so long before people call bullshit. And at this point, when I give, for example, when I give information on something that I have checked into and I have researched, the shungite, for example, the sun gazing, which I still do, and I'm still not blind, and I'm still improving. So, I mean, can anybody name, how many things can you name that supposedly are going to be bad for you, that when you do for long extended periods of time, actually improve things about you in every way before it kills you? Doesn't make sense, does it?
Right.
Back in the days of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, cigarettes were absolutely popular. Doctors were promoting it. Everybody said it was good for you. Guess what? It's not anymore. If you want to believe the lies, then continue to do that in your ignorant bliss and wonder why you're not happy. Sit there and wait for Superman. Because, you know, like they say, all good things come to those who wait. What a crock of shit. When was the last time that you or anybody you know sat on a couch for years waiting to be happy and all of a sudden said, wow, I'm happy? You want happiness? Achieve it.
Right.
You want knowledge? Go search for it.
Exactly.
You want to be upset and programmed and be a good little slave? Then believe everything that you're told without question. And use your normalcy bias when you hear something that somebody tries to help you with to make your life improve, and just automatically dismiss it and wonder why you're not getting anywhere.
Or why America's not getting
I'm
anywhere.
not going to sit here and say my life is all of a sudden this miracle where I'm going around tra-la-la-la-la, everything's wonderful. But I don't retain anger anymore. I haven't been sick in a year and a half, which, coming from a person who almost died 5 times in his life from one thing, pneumonia, is saying a lot. And I'm walking on the beach now every single day for at least 45 minutes on the sand, and actually now I walk in the water for those 45 minutes. And I don't even have a breathing problem. So, am I just some exception to the rule? Or maybe I've learned the secrets of life. You want to lose weight? Don't take a diet pill and then eat a bunch of garbage. Change your health style. Exercise. Eat vegetables. Do better things.
And take fluoride out of our diets, you guys. We have to do this. We have to stand up. We have to start a petition going around to end this, because I'm sorry, I can't agree with fluoride being put in my water, and I'm forced to ingest it and shower with it, and I'm gonna be forced to wash my next baby in it again. Like, man, you guys, come on. We have to share this information. I please beg you, please share it. Even if you feel like you might be discriminated against for it, talk to people, tell them, explain to them this is the whole reason why we're trying to start this movement, is because it's wrong. It's wrong for people to not be able to talk about bad things that are happening to them, and government officials that are corrupt, and laws that are messed up and making people not be able to defend themselves and so on, when this is not the land that we are supposed to be. Okay, guys? I just want to leave you with that. You do more research on the fluoride, you'll find a lot. But I hope you guys get the idea. Please share with your family members and try your hardest to not have fluoride in your diet as much as you can. Me and my husband do it, and I mean, it's not hard. If you need any help or want to know what we can do about it, just contact me in the comments or send me a message on Facebook. Thanks for watching and listening, and I'll hit you guys up another time. Bye.